Take the bass line out. Uh-huh. Jiggle.
Bounce with it.
Yeah. Let it bump though.
Yo, welcome to the show, Kwknowz, the show where we know sports. Before we get started today, we like to apologize for not having a show yesterday. We were out on business reasons, and we'll be also out tomorrow on business reasons, but we will be back Friday with another episode of Kwknowz. With that being said, I'm sitting next to my co-host here, Mr. AW, Artist Woods.
Nice to be here, man. Great game last night.
Man, I loved it.
Yes, you did.
Monday I picked the Spurs to win, and I said it was a little reverse psychology since I haven't been right yet. I'm actually glad I haven't been right yet.
And I've been right about every game. Just point that out.
You could be right about all the games. You got the Heat in 7. I'm taking the Spurs in 7. If that's what it's gonna take for LeBron to deliver another championship. But speaking of Game 6, that was the topic of the night. A thriller, one of all-time greatest final games that I've seen in my life.
Same here.
Jesus Shuttlesworth came.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen hit the big three with 5.2 seconds left to send the game into overtime, and then after that, there was a couple questionable calls. But what did you see from the game? What did you like about the game, and what do you think of?
Well, first off, I picked the Miami Heat to win the game to begin with, like I said before. I felt bad for the Spurs last night. They saw the championship literally on the side of their bench. T-Mac on the bench, dang near finna cry, cause he think he finna get him a ring. And everybody else on the bench sitting there, Gary Neal, everybody looking at it, they dang near ready to celebrate. They got the yellow tape out. I felt bad for them last night. But on to the actual game. Tim Duncan dominated in the first half and then got shut down in the second half. I don't know what happened to Tim Duncan. I think either Pop was trying to rest him or he got tired, one of the two. Kawhi Leonard, a nice little game, 22 points. Choked at the free throw line, but had 11 rebounds. Danny Green, 3 points. Chris Bosh was right. They shut him down.
He's not getting. He's not going to be open.
He's not getting open shots. Shut him down.
Especially the last play of the game.
TP, Tony Parker, 19 and 8 assists. He had one of my favorite plays of the game. He called LeBron on that step back three, which was disgusting. That was one of them moments.
Using my disgusting words.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
it's disgusting and LeBron in the same sentence.
Kind of crossed LeBron, just step back on him. I was like, that's one of them moments, But then you go to the Miami Heat. Mario Chalmers with a nice 20, even though he's a liability, even though he had a
I'll get to that later.
Dwayne Wade, 14 points. He showed up, but then he didn't. He played, it wasn't his usual games in the previous two games. Chris Bosh had a previous game. He had 10 points, 11 rebounds. Two big plays where he got that rebound and kicked it out to Ray Allen, and then another big play where he
had actually a couple good defenses, the block on Tony Parker and the block on Green.
And then the block on Danny Green. Mike Miller with the 8 points, and then like I always say, the best last, LeBron James starts off the fourth quarter, 3 of 12, and we are ready to crucify this man already.
Oh, you are. I'm trying to think of every little
escape. I'm ready. At this point, I'm taking down my notes for the show. I'm like, I'm finna go in on this man because I said he was going to drop 40. And I looked like an idiot until we hit that fourth quarter. LeBron had a play, his signature play of the game to me. He had a play where he got a putback dunk after Mario Chalmers threw the ball up in the air, got a putback dunk. And Tim Duncan knocks his headband off.
Yes.
From that point forward, LeBron turned into what I like to call Super LeBron. He wasn't LeBron. He was Super LeBron last night.
The hairline was shown.
The hairline propelled them to the victory last night. That's just my opinion. The hairline propelled them. It put superpowers in the rest of the game. It was ridiculous last night. He had 16 points in the fourth quarter without the headband. Mm-hmm. Then you had Ray Allen with that big three. Now we skipping over the turnover that LeBron had at the end. I was ready.
He had a couple
big
turnovers.
turnover.
Yeah, two. The one where Kawhi Leonard poked it out, and then the one where I don't know if it was a lob or an air ball.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so he had two costly turnovers. I was getting ready. I was getting ready to be like, all right.
But you know, Super LeBron showed up, and in order for them to win Game 7, Super LeBron with no headband and the line is showing is gonna have to, you know, propel them to yet another victory. But all in all, it's a great game. I got on Twitter last night and I was being extremely annoyed by the people on Twitter talking about the NBA is rigged and the last couple seconds of the game was rigged and the block on Danny Green. You want to call that a foul? That's first off, they would have called that a foul. That would have been so controversial at the end of that game because Danny Green is a pretty good free throw shooter. He probably would have went down there and hit all 3 free throws.
Yeah.
So I mean that was ridiculous. The other play that was controversial, the Manu Ginobili, he's driving to the rim. You can't really call that either.
Yeah.
If you look at that, Ray Allen sucked the ball out of his hand and he's trying to flop.
Exactly.
So
who was the king of flop? And everybody wants to talk about the Heat always flop.
Exactly.
Manu Ginobili
flopped, and Chris Bosh got a clean block.
Yeah.
I don't see how you could. He put it back in his face. I don't see how you can call that a foul. That wasn't a foul at all. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree with most of your points. I like to say that during the start of the fourth quarter, I was actually one of those saying that the NBA is rigged because I was not liking the outcome. But you talk about Tim Duncan, 25 points in the first half, 5 points in the second half. Was it tired? Was it fatigue? What was it? I don't know. And I also do feel bad for the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, looking at the Larry O'Brien trophy, literally 10 feet away from you. I mean, they're setting up the champagne in the locker room.
Right.
They're setting up the yellow tape. They're bringing out the platform.
They're getting ready to celebrate.
Fans are leaving the building. Literally leaving the building. You're up 5 points with 21 seconds left. In an NBA Finals game, you are the San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich had a couple questionable decisions late.
He did.
Tim Duncan or not. But I think even if Tim Duncan was in the game, would he have got those rebounds?
I think he would have.
You know, you think he would have?
I think he would end up getting the rebound.
I mean, if you look at the rebounds, the bounces, it wasn't like you can go like the one Chris Bosh gave. It took a weird bounce, and Manu was the only one really over there. The other one where Mike Miller got the rebound, kicked it to LeBron. Boris Diaw and Thiago Splitter were fighting for the rebound. So it's not like, you know, somebody came and just swooped it and took it. But this is what I've been saying about LeBron. What he did in the fourth quarter was amazing. You have Boris Diaw and Kawhi Leonard holding you. Those guys cannot stop you. He finally took advantage of what I've been trying to say. I don't know if you watched the show. I doubt it. But if you do, then you were listening to me. Attack and dominate a game. You are the best player on the court at any time. Dominate a game. And what I like to say was the most important thing of the game. Which
the hairline. Super LeBron. I'm trying to, you got to put, it's Super LeBron. It ain't LeBron, it's Super LeBron. Get it right. Get it right.
What I think is the most important part of the game that gets overshadowed by the overall greatness, the 16 points of, he guarded Tony Parker.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
He guarded Tony Parker. He didn't sit down a single minute in the second half. He played 49 minutes and 50 seconds. That is unheard of.
Phenomenal.
In an NBA,
Kobe
he left
Bryant,
everything. He left everything.
You better quit playing. You better quit playing.
He left everything. He left everything out there on the court. But along with him doing that, so did the San Antonio Spurs, which not only physically but mentally, they shut down for the season. They won. To them, their championship, their coronation was 21 seconds away. They said, we just capped off an amazing season. They were done.
Yeah.
To lose and have to get back up for another game in South Beach.
I picked the Heat in 7 after they lost game 5.
I picked the Heat in 7 too. I didn't pick it like this, but I'll take it anyway it's gonna come. I don't know if the Spurs can get back up. LeBron, the triple-double.
Manu Ginobili said he was devastated last night after the win. He said he said he doesn't know how they're gonna be re-energized or rejuvenated from that game.
I don't know.
So that's
either.
a bad sign already.
But I want to tell you,
don't even have confidence going into the
I want to
game.
tell you though. I want to tell you, Dwayne Wade, 14 points. They squeaked this victory out. He's gonna show up in Game 7. He knows that they are 48 minutes away, guaranteed only 48 more minutes in this NBA season.
He's going to show up.
You have nothing to lose. It's all or nothing. They're going to show up Game 7. The Spurs are going to show up. I don't know if they're going to play, but they're going to show up. They'll be on the court. I don't think that the Heat will run away with it in the beginning, but I think come second quarter, fatigue. And when Tony Parker went to the bench and he put that towel over his face.
Yeah, see? That it took a mental toll. You see the trophy, right? That took a mental toll on them. Like I said, they shut down for the season. But, the Super Late Ryan came out. What can you say?
The hairline was shown and the hairline helped out.
Propelled them to the victory. Salute the hairline.
But our second topic today is the Doc Rivers whole fiasco with him going to the Clippers along with KG for possibly DeAndre Jordan, Eric Bledsoe, and maybe a pick or two. According to Don Sterling, the talks have broken down.
Yeah. Because the Boston Celtics want 2 draft picks instead of 1.
First of all, Don Sterling, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You have the opportunity to bring Doc Rivers, arguably the best coach in the league, along with Greg Popovich. Along with the KG, who has the leadership, the intangibles that can be brought to a locker room, which obviously the LA Clippers need. Obviously, with all the rumors of banging heads, not getting the ball, the Chris Paul. You're in the midst of signing Chris Paul, who is, along with Dwight Howard, the biggest sought free agent this offseason. And you have the nerve to turn down a Doc Rivers because you don't want to pay him or you don't want to give off a couple of draft picks? Are you out of your mind?
Taking the words out of my mouth.
I don't understand how this could... You want to save DeAndre Jordan, who, by the way, is a liability at the free throw line, by the way. And then you don't want to give away Eric Bledsoe, a young talent.
Now Eric Bledsoe is... But I think he might be the future of the Clippers, the future point guard, because Chris Paul is so injury prone, man. Like that man is liable to miss 30 games a season at least, if not a couple less. But Chris Paul is so injury prone, you never know what you're gonna get from him during the regular season.
He is, but you look at it like this. With the re-signing of Chris Paul, saying they did. With the reacclimation or the acclimation of a Doc Rivers, a KG, you get to keep Blake Griffin. Who wouldn't want to play for the Clippers?
True.
Doc Rivers is one of the greatest, or I shouldn't say the greatest, but one of the best in today's game recruiting coaches. Who wouldn't want? He brought the original Big Three to Boston.
Recruiting players, not coaches. Players.
You know what I meant? Recruiting players. He can recruit coaches too. He can do that. I don't understand. The reports have been Don Sterling doesn't like to pay his coaches. He likes to go for cheap coaches.
That's why he has 0 rings on his resume.
If I'm Chris Paul, I'm looking at that like, so you're going to give me a cheap coach? You just fired a cheap coach. Why do I want another cheap coach? I want to win. Chris Paul's been in this league as long as LeBron and all that.
Yeah.
It's time for him to win something, and I don't think,
or at least get far in the Western Conference.
And I think if they don't make a decision and rethink this,
he needs to get up out of.
He's gone. I think the best solution for him is for him and Dwight Howard to go to Houston. That's what I think they should do.
I'm a Lakers fan, so of course I'm gonna say I think Chris Paul should come to the Lakers. But that's another discussion for another day. I think it's rumored that Blake Griffin and Dwight Howard, they're trying to do a heads up type trade for the two, between the two. So I mean, that would be they're the same. So in my opinion, they're the same type of player. Blake Griffin has more of a mid range than Dwight,
more of a mid range type of player. I would keep Dwight just because of his dominance and his overall physique, but It's also,
I think Blake Griffin later on in his career is going to end up being better than Dwight Howard.
I think too. His mind is probably much in a better place. But there's also been reports that Lakers and Clippers will never do business with each other.
Right, which is reasonable and understandable.
Once again, another reason why the Clippers have 0. But real quickly, we're gonna talk about the Aaron Hernandez criminal case about I guess it was a homicide of one of Aaron Hernandez's associates or friends or whatnot, and they searched the house and he was being uncooperative. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Aaron Hernandez needs to smarten up and be cooperative with the police. That's just my opinion. I mean, if you're not cooperative, it makes it seem like you're guilty. So I mean, guilty of a crime. So I mean, they're gonna interrogate you until you cooperate.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I think you should cooperate.
I think
especially if he's innocent.
Yeah, I think you need to cooperate. You don't want to go into the season. You have a chance to shine. With the injuries of Rob Gronkowski.
Right.
You don't want to be in this situation. If you did it or not, or if you had anything to do with it, cooperate. Take the penalty. Be free if you didn't do anything. I think that this is just another saga in the New England Patriots 2013 season.
Yeah.
They don't need this. Aaron Hernandez has a chance to be the tight end this year because of Rob Gronkowski. I think he needs to smarten up, cooperate with the police, and just get this whole thing over with.
We agree on that. Yeah, most definitely.
But it's about that time. You know what time it is? It's KWT trivia time. Monday's trivia.
Ooze, I'm gonna try to do this for you. I got you, Ooze. I'm gonna try to do this for you, man. I'm gonna try.
Monday's episode, the trivia question was, who was the Heat's leading scorer before the D-Wade era? You didn't know, did you?
I mean, I knew after you told me.
Well, that's not fair.
I knew after you told me.
The answer was actually Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good player.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Played for the Lakers. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, today's trivia question is a hockey question. The all-time greatest, arguably, hockey player, Wayne Gretzky, how many times did that man win a Stanley Cup Finals?
I'm going to say about 3 times.
You're wrong again. We'll see you guys on Friday. We'll be up there, so we'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks for tuning in to KWKnowz. Make sure to subscribe. We will see you guys on Friday.
I tried.